Hey, what's going on, guys? Kieran from Fingers Crossed, and today we've got a fossil deck profile for you. Now, I've done a dinosaur fossil deck profile before. You guys didn't clearly seem to like that very much, but today is just going to be just pure fossils. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Just a little friendly reminder for that, please. We are growing slowly. Let's keep it going and have a really good 2021 as a channel and a community. So yeah, let's get into the fossil deck profile. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think down below. Any cards that you think I could add or anything like that, and I'll look into that. I think the fossil cards are really cool, and I really like the artworks. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Okay guys, so here it is. It'll probably be a little bit different to everyone. I don't have like doubles of some cards, but this deck profile I think will really work. I've played it a little bit with my friends, and yeah, I've done quite well. So yeah, obviously I can't play locals at the moment because England are in another lockdown. So national lockdown again, third time lucky, eh? But yeah, so let me just get into it and show you guys, and you can let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Right, starting off, we've got the 3 Weathering Soldier. Let me zoom in. There we go. Alright, zoom in a little bit. So we've got 3 Weathering Soldier. So Weathering Soldier is basically how you get to your fossil fusion. So what you're gonna do, you're either gonna send this to the graveyard, or somehow get it destroyed by battle, like crashing or something like that. And then you're going to add your fossil fusion to your hand. So that's the main purpose of this card. You just got to get it to the graveyard and then get fossil fusion to your hand. And I'll show you a couple of ways to do that in a second. Then moving on, we've got 3 Nemesis Keystone. Now all this is another body. So fossil fusion, when you activate fossil fusion, it banishes cards, and Nemesis Keystone, you can target one of your banished monsters, obviously except this card, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, shuffle that target into the deck. During the end phase, if this card was currently banished and was banished this turn, you can add this card to your hand. So it also just recurs. So it's just super good, guys. Like again, you can summon it, and then if you can manage to banish it, you can get it back. And if you obviously, if you already had something banished, you can special summon it and shuffle that back. Link it away from Link Rebo or something like that, get it into the grave, activate your fossil fusion, banish it with the fossil fusion, and then in your end phase, you're just going to get it back to your hand. So it's really good. It's just like an easy way to get an extra body on board. So 3 of those. Then we play 2 Century Soldier of Stone. This is literally just, if it's in the grave, it's another free body. It's another special summon. We want to try and get those special summons as often as we can, and this is all it is. Maybe I could put this down to 1 because it's just not. But in my opinion, 1s don't always work for some things. But like if you've already got your full load, this is what you're gonna want to set. So yeah, 2 of those. We've got 3 Corky Marrow Supplier. It's another good card. If you control a face-up rock monster, if a face-up rock monster you control is sent to the graveyard, except during the stem step, you can special summon this card from your hand. So again, it's just another special summon. You're gonna control a face-up rock monster realistically, and then that is gonna go to grave either by be linked or fossil fusion, or any other way. More often, it's gonna be linked. You will be able to special summon this one again. And then obviously, to go hand in hand with that, we do have Guardian. You guys should know what Guardian does. It is like, it's just when a monster effect is activated, you contribute this card, negate the activation, and destroy that monster. So it's just a decent negation. And obviously you can search it from your supplier. Then, we've got 2 Doki Doki. So Doki Doki is really good because you can discard 1 rock monster, so you can put a card in the graveyard. So that could be something like your Century Soldier of Stone or your Weathering Soldier. Be better with Weathering Soldier because then you can get your fossil fusion. And then what you can do is you can special summon from your deck one rock monster that has the same original attribute and level. So I'll show you what we can go into using that effect, and that is a barrier statue. So we will continue to be able to combo, be able to do whatever we want, because everything is rock, earth, and potentially you're going to be, not a lot of decks are going to be playing rock, going to be playing earth. There are some here and there, but not with the way the meta is at the moment, in my opinion. So it's a free play for you, and it's just a good body to get on board. You could do other things, but this is in here just to give you that potential option. Then of course, Gigantus. It's a free. It's a normal. It's a special summon by banishing one earth monster from your graveyard. So potentially, if you put your Nemesis Keystone in the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon the Gigantus, and then obviously you'll get your Keystone back in the end phase. That's it for the rock monsters. I'll show you the last few monsters. So we've got Mathematician. I'm sure you guys have seen it a lot in other deck profiles. For like rock, it is pretty good. When this card is normal summoned, you can send one level 4 lower monster from your deck to the graveyard. So, and then you obviously, when it's destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card, which is pretty good. Extra cards is always a plus. You can send one level monster from your deck to the graveyard, so that is going to be your Weathering Soldier, so that you can get your Fossil Fusion in your hand. Yet another way to get to your Fossil Fusion. So, get rid of those. Last one, Pankratops. So Pankratops has got 2 pluses for this. One, it's a great card. This is mostly a go in second deck. So Dino Wrestler Pankratops, you're gonna summon it. So Dino Wrestler Pankratops, you're gonna summon it. You're gonna either bait a negation, or it's another free body, and you're gonna it's got high levels, so you can use it to fusion into your bigger fusion monsters. So yeah, that's why Pankratops is in there. Then of course, moving on into spells, we've got 3 Fossil Fusion. So Fossil Fusion is like the star of this deck. We want to be getting this. You can fusion summon one Fossil Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from any graveyard. So you can use your opponents, so that's why going second is of course the best option, because then you can use their monsters. But you also can use your own. That's why Pankratops is a good option, so you have a higher, you can get into your bigger fusion monsters. But obviously you want to be doing it the other way. So that's the main thing for this. Next, we're going to go into Time Stream. So Time Streaming is a really good card, because if you get into your, if you fusion, if your opponent only has like small level monsters in their graveyard, and you use Fossil Fusion, you're going to use Fossil Fusion, then that's going to, you're going to use Fossil Fusion, get into like your Fossil Warrior Skullbone, and then you're going to use Time Stream, and then you're going to go up into your Fossil Warrior Skull Knight, or if you're in Skull Knight, then you can go to Skull King, and you get the gist. So yeah, Time Streaming is good for that. I do play the 1 Specimen Inspection. It's not great, but obviously you reveal the Fossil Fusion in your hand, send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do declare a type and level, then your opponent looks at their hand deck and sends 1 monster with the declared type and level. So it just helps you, because they're going to send that from their to their graveyard from their handled deck. So if you want a level 7, then you're going to tell them a level 7, and then they're going to ditch a level 7 into the graveyard, and then that obviously gives you your fodder for your Fossil Fusion. So, and potentially you're banishing one of their key pieces. So say like, for instance, you're playing Dragon Link. Levier is like a level 8, isn't it? So you're gonna say level 8 Dark. Hopefully that's the only level 8 Dark in their deck. They're gonna send that, then you're gonna banish it away. So that's why I play the 1 off. Then of course, I only have the 2 Miracle Rupture, others I would play 3. But this just allows you to get your Weathering Soldier into the graveyard so that you can then search for your Fossil Fusion. 2 Super Poly. You just want to try and break the boards if you can. So 2 of these, and also it helps you discard, so you're going to send stuff to the graveyard. So Weathering Soldier again will get you Fossil Fusion whilst breaking boards. So 2 of those. For the one-offs, got 1 Foolish Burial. We've got 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Harpies, and 1 Regeki. So obviously Foolish Burial is another Miracle Rupture. You're going to send your Weathering Soldier to the grave. You've got Monster Reborn because, like, self-explanatory really. Called by the Grave is because we don't want them to like ash us if we're trying to search for our Fossil Fusion or anything like that. Feather Duster is just to try and eliminate or eliminate all the spells and traps, or bait and negate. Regeki, get rid of all the monsters, or bait and negate. So pretty good one-offs in my opinion. Then last but not least, into our hand trap. So we've got the 3 Ash Blossom, we've got the 2 Nibiru, and the 2 Imperms. So Imperms is the only traps that we have. Obviously it's a great card. Ash Blossom is really generic, really good against a lot of like rogue decks, and most decks search now, so if you know what to stop them from searching for, Ash is obviously very good for that stuff. And then the Nibiru is, not only is it a rock, not only has it got high level, it's very good against combo decks. So Nibiru is a must in my opinion. Moving on. Okay guys, sorry about my cough as well, clearing my throat a lot. I'm still a bit ill, and if I speak for too long then like the air gets in and my mouth gets dry. Yeah, as you can see there. So in for the fossil stuff, we've got 2 Fossil Warrior Skullbone, 2 Skullgar, 1 Knight, 1 King, and 1 Skullgeos. So the reason I've done this is because realistically I found when I was playing, I was going into Skullbone and Skullgar the most, and then I was having to use Time Stream to go up into my Warrior, my King, and my Skullgeos. So this is why I've done the ratio this way. You can of course play 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, or 3s if you want to. 3s it doesn't make sense because then this is literally all you have. They're all very good. They all have different effects while they're in the graveyard. But you do obviously want to be going into Skullgeos and King as much as possible. But so they all need to be. They can. So the like warrior versions, they can attack more than once. So you got Skullbone. Must be like obviously everything needs to be fusion somewhere with Fossil Fusion. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Time Stream from your deck to your hand. So again, that's why you would go into that, maybe link it off, and get your Time Stream just to help out a little bit. Then we've got Skullgar. So Skullgar, if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage, and then obviously you can banish it from the grave, add 1 Fossil Fusion from your deck to your hand. Then Skull Knight, must be fusion summoned obviously. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. When this attacking card destroys a monster by battle, you can activate this effect. It can make a 2nd attack in a row. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. So sometimes this card is being used with Intis. So you play like 3 Intis and 3 Fossil Warrior Skull Knight, because obviously when it's in the grave you can banish it and pop a card. So similar effect to Intis. Then obviously you got Fossil Warrior Skull King. This card can make a 2nd attack during each battle phase. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. Quick effect, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon that monster to your side of the field. So that is a crazy effect. So you can just take their stuff after you've destroyed it, which adds insult to injury. So if there's something that you want to destroy but you don't want to let them have, you just destroy it and then take it for yourself. So it's pretty good. On to Skolgios. Before damage calculation, this card battles an opponent's monster. You can switch the current attack and defense of that opponent's monster until the end of the damage step. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. If this fusion summoned card battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. So it's just a good OTK option. So this can attack twice, but it gets you time stream. This one does piercing, but it can get you your fossil fusion. This can pop a card and it does piercing, and if it destroys a monster, it can attack again. Skull King, if it destroys something, you can discard a card and then special summon the monster to your side of the field. And Skolgios can swap attack and defense, so basically a shield and sword, and then inflict piercing damage, and it doubles the piercing damage. So I went over those quite in detail, just a little bit, because they are obviously the main cards for the deck. But of course you do need to have other options. So we've got one Tornado Dragon for spells and traps. We've got one Gallant Granite. So obviously add one monster from your deck to your hand, so it just gives you a good search if you're looking for something in particular. Degusta Emerald, just in case you wanna you need to draw an extra couple of cards, or there's something you're looking for, just make this. Put a few cards back in, just recycle your resources. Then of course onto the last few. So we've got the Linkuriboh, just in case you need to, from the Nemesis Keystone. Bowl Sword, just in case you want like a little bit extra firepower, just to make sure that you just beat over your opponent. Predaplant Verte Anaconda, just in case you cannot find your way to Fossil Fusion. You just need to make sure you get as many options as you can. Geonator Transversa. So again, this card is like being used. I don't know if you see it. I think it was Cody Angeloff that used this recently in his deck, for one of his deck profiles. But obviously you can just swap the two effect monsters that this card points to. So pretty good card. I'm sure it will start to see more play more and more, and also it is an earth and a rock monster, so fits really well. And then last but not least, we had Super Poly, so our one Super Poly target is this. There is a lot of dark monsters, so more often than not you should be able to just get it away. If you can. You could take out some other things just to get some more Super Poly targets in. You could change the extra deck if you want a little bit, maybe take out Borrow Sword or the Transversa. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I did kind of go through it pretty quickly. Maybe I was a bit off as well, like I've only played a little bit with this deck, and I'm still a bit sick, so my brain is not working the way I want it to. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. What would you change? What would you add? And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And enjoy the rest of your day, guys. See you later.